Hi everyone, my name is Neha Mishra, and today I'll be sharing how different approaches, theories, and frameworks shape the way I understand children as a early childhood teacher. I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodian of the land on which we met and learned today. I pay my respect to their elders, past and present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islander people. Rather than looking at children from a single perspective, I have learned that it's the combination of multiple lenses, historical, contemporary development, and pediological, that truly helps me see and support the whole child. I'll be talking about two approaches, two major child development theories, and two Australian frameworks, and most importantly, how these ideas will shape my teaching practices. The first approach is Montessori. Maria Montessori believed children are naturally curious and capable. In her method, the classroom is carefully prepared with children sized, hands on material, and children are free to choose their activities according to Rule 2024. This really changes how I see my role as a teacher. Instead of directing every step, I become a guide and observer, watching how each child explore and learn at their own pace. For example, if a child is pouring water back and forth again and again, I don't interrupt. I recognize they are building focus and fine motor skills. I might extend the activity by offering different sized container, supporting their growth while respecting their independence. The second approach is Reggio Emilia. It views the child as strong, capable, and full of ideas. Learning happens through relationships and multiple form of expression, what they call the 100 languages. Reggio child, here the environment is the third teacher, and documentation like photos, drawing, or children's words make their learning visible, according to Wilson College 2024. For example, if children are fascinated by bugs in the garden, I would set an inquiry project, magnifying glasses, books, art material, and let them lead the learning. By listening, observing, and documenting, I get to understand not just what they are learning, but how they think, express, and make sense of the world. Next is Piaget's. His theory explains how children move through four stages of cognitive development and how their thinking changes over time. According to McLeod 2025, this led me not to expect adult thinking from younger children. For example, preschool are the pre operational stage. They think concentrately and often egocentric. Imagine a 4-year old grab a toy without sharing. Instead of labeling it as a bad behavior, I understand they are still developing social perspective. Talking, my response would be gently model and scaffold sharing skills, not to scold. This theory remind me to meet children's where they are developmentally and design learning experiences that match their stage, like sensory play or hands-on problem solving. Vyagastya theory adds another layer. He believed children learn best through social interaction with more knowledgeable other. McLeod 2025. His idea of the zone proximal development, what children can do with just a bit of help, encourages me to see their potential, not just their current ability. For example, if a child is almost able to tie their shoelace, I might gently guide their finger, give a little hint, and let them complete it. That small movement tells me so much about their learning process. He also saw language as a powerful tool. So when children talk to themselves during play, I won't stop them. I will see it as a thinking aloud and encourage it. Now let's look at two key frameworks. First, the early year learning framework, version 2.0 2022. It built around the ideas of belonging, being, and becoming. Early year learning framework remind me to look at the child holistically, their relationships, their present experience, and their future growth. Australian Government Department of Education 2022. For example, if a child loves sorting object, I can turn that into a counting activities, linking to it outcome for confident and involved learning. It also pushes me to partner with families, reflect on my practices, and make sure learning is meaningful and culturally responsive. The national quality standard sets the quality benchmark across 7 areas from educational practices to relationship and safety. ACECQA 2018. This framework is a reminder that understanding children isn't just about what happens at the table or the mat. It's about creating safe, inclusive, and responsive space. For example, if a child feels anxious during transition, I might adjust routines, offer a calm space, and build a supportive ritual. That small change reflect a deep understanding of their emotional needs. When I combine these lenses, my understanding of children become richer and more complete. Montessori teaches me to respect their independence. Reggio Emilia highlights their voice and creativity. Piaget show me where they are developmentally. Vogas helps me to see their potential through social learning. Early year learning framework and national quality standards give me a strong professional framework. For example, if I observe a group of children exploring the outdoors, I can notice their independent action, Montessori collaboration, according to Reggio, their stage of reasoning, according to Piaget, their interaction, according to Vergasto, and connect it back to early year learning framework outcome and national quality standards. These approaches and framework don't just help me teach us better, they help me understand children more deeply. They push me to observe and listen in intentionally, create environment where children thrive, scaffold learning with empathy, and build genuine partnership with families. As a future early childhood teacher, I want my classroom to be a space where children are seen as capable, curious, and powerful learners, and these frameworks give me the tools to make that vision real. Thank you so much for listening.